Good morning, children. This is your teacher Nafisa Edinwana. Children, did you all see those beautiful slides about kites? Yes, you all enjoy flying kites, especially boys. Even girls enjoy. I used to enjoy flying kite when I was of your age. So it's a festival which we celebrate in India as Makar Sankranti. Let me tell you all. And today we are going to do a lesson on Kite Festival. It's a beautiful lesson, but before we start, I would like to tell you something about Kite Festival. This festival is full of happiness, cheer, enthusiasm. It is celebrated normally on 13th or 14th of January when the spring season sets in, and it is an end of winter season. Now this festival is celebrated with great pomp, especially in Gujarat. It has now become a festival which is celebrated at an international level. So let's get started, children, with this lesson. First, we will do warming up exercise. Now cut out the wrong kites. Nouns, verbs and adjectives. Now festival, celebration, tradition, competition are all nouns, common nouns. Verbs: festivity, celebrate, trade, compete. Festivity is not a verb, so I've put a cross over there. Adjectives: festive, celebrity, traditional, compare. So celebrity and compare is not an adjective. Name the festival that you enjoy most of all. Write the facts about that festival. The festival I've written about Diwali. Festive name of the festival Diwali. When it is celebrated, usually in November, it is celebrated due to the victory of good over evil. Means that is when Lord Rama, returned to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile, that is Banvas, after defeating Ravana. People of Ayodhya welcome it with great rejoice. How is this celebrated? By bursting crackers and performing puja. Special cuisine, that is a food that is cooked in every homes during that festival. Samosas, sweets and many other delicacies. Other special features of this: light their homes. People light their homes, temples and workplace with diyas, because during those days there were not tube lights and colorful lights. So it used to light diyas. Let's get started, children, with the Kite Festival. Page number 62 and just 3 or 4 lines of page number 63, which is I've included. Let's get started with the bigger slides. Years ago, a harassed mother would often say to her restless son, who needed to be kept busy during his holidays, "Why don't you go fly a kite?" जब पहले के ज़माने में मदर बच्चा उसको जब सताता था, the child would harass the mother. So the mother would tell him to go and fly kite so that he keeps himself busy. And the little boy would happily pick up his kite and run into the field. और बच्चा खुशी खुशी वो काइट लेके फील्ड में भाग जाता था उड़ाने के लिए काइट को. That of course was in past. Now this is what it is past. Today what do? You sit with your cell phones, right? When the kite were available, were made of paper and thin wooden frames. Now in past, the kites were just made up of thin paper and wooden frames. That of course was in past, when kites were available, were made of kite paper and thin wooden frames. Kite flying has come a long way. So since then, kite flying में बहुत सारे invention हुए. Long way means बहुत सारे inventions हुए with lot of inventions. Today we have motorized kites and fiberglass kites made out of. That means kites are made out of. That means the motors are fitted to the kites, which can soar high up in the sky. And some kites are made up of fiberglass also, not only of thin paper, to compete with the old-fashioned kites. Today, kite flyers can be found in different parts of the world carrying different types of kites, waiting for the right wind. Now, today, kite flyers are found in different parts of the world. There are people who enjoy flying kites, so they are waiting for the right wind. Kite flying has a long history. There are many Greek, Indian, and other mythological stories which tells us about human beings wanting to trying to fly. Over a period of time, this desire of human and their imagination probably led to invention of kite. Now, with passage of time, as time passed, human desire and their imagination led to invention of kites. Means they added some new features to the kites and they invented box kites. Now, this box kites gave further, I would say, inspired people to, or they can, you can say, added more imagination, and that led to invention of creating a power driven aeroplanes. Means when people thought if box kites can go high up in the sky, we must design certain other type of things which can take people into the sky, and that gave rise to invention of aeroplane. And who were the men who discovered that? Wright brothers, two Wright brothers. They invented aeroplane children. In India, however, the tradition of kite flying has not yet changed, be it during the coming of spring, which is celebrated as Basant, or during the festival of Makar Sankranti. Now, in India, we celebrate this festival as in a traditional way. It has not changed much. It is celebrated when the spring season sets in, or as you can call it as Basant, or during the festival of Makar Sankranti. People of all ages go into the open to try their luck with their kites in towns and cities. Where open spaces are difficult to find, terraces and rooftops are often used for the traditional sport. Now, people of all ages, means small children to older people, they all go to open spaces to try their lucks on kite, means to fly kites. But in towns and cities now we have all tall buildings. There are very few open spaces. So people go on the rooftops and terraces for to celebrate this traditional sport. In Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is a kite flying day. Traditionally celebrated on January 13 or 14, it is holiday when people meet outdoors to cut each other's kites. This day also coincides with Uttarayan. Now, children, this day I told you, right, is celebrated usually in January 13th or 14th. It is holiday. Total entire Gujarat is closed. Especially it is celebrated in Gujarat. People meet outdoors. People go to open spaces to cut each other's kites. And I tell you, children, there is more fun in cutting other people's kite than flying our own kites. Because when you cut somebody's kite, you feel that feeling of that triumph, jeet, that yes, I'm victorious. मैंने तुझे हरा दिया, मैंने तेरी काइट काटी. So it is more enthusiastic, and entire atmosphere is so cheerful. You can just imagine, close your eyes and imagine when you are flying kite, what gives you immense happiness when you cut somebody's kites, right? This day also coincides with the festival of Uttarayan. Now this day also coincides, falls with another festival, Uttarayan, when the sun is set to begin its journey in the northern hemisphere. Now, children, I would like to tell you about this. Uttarayan is our, as you all know, in geography you have studied that our Earth's axis is little tilted. Now, here it is said that sun begins its journey. Sun is stationary; it doesn't move. Who is moving? Earth. Earth is rotating, and we are on the northern hemisphere. India is in the northern hemisphere. So means our earth axis is more getting inclined towards the sun. That is why it is said that the sun enters the Uttarayan. That is means northern hemisphere receives more amount of sunlight. That is a setting of a summer season. The people of Gujarat celebrate Uttarayan with lot of enthusiasm, and all business comes to grinding halt for the couple of days. Now, especially in Gujarat, people celebrate this day with great enthusiasm, with happiness. All business are closed down for few days. It is also a celebration to mark the end of winter. Kite flying begins at dawn, early in the morning. Dawn is when even the sun has not risen. That first ray of sunlight is dawn time, and it continues without pause, matlab without stopping throughout the day till night. People of all ages gather on terraces or rooftops. Friends, neighbors, even total strangers compete with one another, and a cry of triumph rends the air when someone cuts the line of the rival. Now, people of all ages, children, they all gather either in the open space, rooftops, terraces, friends, neighbors, even strangers. They compete with each other, and the entire environment is full of cheer and happiness and shouts of enthusiasm when someone cuts the line of the rival. Now, children, we are going to do in-text questions in this session. In the next session, we will be doing workshop. Question number one: how did the kites of the past differ from the modern ones? Answer: in past, kites were made of kite paper and thin wooden frame. Today, kites are motorized and even made of fiberglass. Today, kite flying has become so popular that kite flyers are found throughout the world. Question number two: when is kite flying at its peak in India? In India, kite flying is at peak when Basant, the coming of spring, is celebrated during the festival of Makar Sankranti. In Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is celebrated as a kite flying day. This month, this day normally falls on 13th or 14th of January. Question number 3: how do they celebrate the kite festival in Gujarat? In Gujarat, Makar Sankranti is the kite flying day, traditionally celebrated on 13th or 14th of January. It is a holiday when people meet outdoors to cut each other's kites. The kite flying begins at dawn and continues without pause throughout the day. People of all ages gather on the terraces or rooftops. Friends, neighbors, even strangers compete with one another, and the cry of triumph rend the air when someone cuts the line of the rival. Question number 4: why is Kite Festival at Ahmedabad so special? This kite festival this kite festival I'm talking about is an international kite festival organized by the Gujarat State of Tourism Corporation. This festival attracts international kite flyers who demonstrate their skills in flying exotic kites and local champions as well. Little Indian paper kites compete with those of Japan, US, UK, and other countries. Excited spectators watch in a marvelous shapes such as eagles and snakes soar in the skies. Question number 5. Why does the visit to what does the visit to Patang Bazaar prove? The Patang Bazaar is open 24 hours a day for a whole week. A visit to bazaar in the middle of the night is enough to prove that the entire city is obsessed with kites. How is the special thread of the kite flying prepared? The mixture of glue and a ground glass cover the line, which is dried and rolled into rails known as firkis. These lines are very sharp, they can cut your fingers. Question number 7. What are tukals? At night, kite flying continues. Now, illuminated box kites are strung on one line to be launched in the sky. These box kites are called tukals. They add a grand beauty to the dark sky and compete with the brilliance of stars. Thank you, children, for today. See you tomorrow. Hope you all understood this part 1 of your lesson Kite Festival, and see you in the next session. Love you all, miss you all.